as we spoke about before,
Yeah.
I told you about one of the best parties I've ever played at. Well, this is definitely one of the worst parties I've ever played at, for my own personal experience. So, a place just outside my hometown in Australia called Wollongong booked me for a festival they had. And the festival itself was not catered at all to my sound. Not one bit. So they were playing Afro house and chill beats and things before I got up on stage. And then I got on there and completely destroyed the place with 155 BPM techno. And it just freaked everyone out so much. And it took them songs, like literal songs length, before they could pick their chin up off the floor and go, what the fuck is that guy? What the fuck am I listening to?
Oh my god!
And
because you're going with another idea, with another BPM.
Yeah, totally. I went from 123 BPM from the artist before me, and I started playing at 150.
Fuck, it's a lot.
It's a totally different universe of BPM.
Because, we have here genre. I don't know, it's new or old. Is Huaracha. I don't know.
Huaracha,
Huaracha.
Huaracha,
Like,
I do know.
It's kind of fun. The fact that you can mix genre.
Yeah.
You know, the hard techno or the highest, the BPMs. That, I don't know, 180.
See.
180,
Yep.
and the reggaeton it's around 90.
Correct.
So it's the half.
So you can do half, so you can double it.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can mix it and you can do a very cool reggaeton, hard techno music.
Yeah, you can.
What do you think about the fusion of the genre? I think it's the future of the music.
I agree. I think fusion of genres, bonding to the core that is techno, which is a 4/4 beat. I think you always need to keep that to call it techno. You can do triplets, you can do off-time beats, you can miss a beat sometimes, but you have to essentially keep it 4/4 so everyone can dance in a rhythmic, primal way. Mm-hmm. But splicing it with other genres, like there's a fantastic artist out there right now called Bjorn. Everyone knows him. He's a Swedish Belgian bass producer, and he's really good. He's a friend of mine, actually. He's really amazing. I caught up with him recently, and he really well fuses bass music with hard techno, and all his drops and breaks and cuts and fills are big neuro bass waves and just wobbles and stuff like that, and they're very, very technical and very cool.
I love when they do that with the drums, because the drums are the heart of the song.
Of course.
The heart.
The thing that make you move.
Yeah, true. That's where the tribal rhythm comes from, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we're always trying to get back to, that tribal rhythm of our ancestors. And that's why I think techno is so popular right now. Yeah. Because it's the most tribal version of electronic music we've had in a long, long time.
Yeah, I think it's a genre very creative, you can mix, do it to the BPM. Yeah. You can you trap and punk, rap and hip-hop.
Metal. Metal,
yeah.
There's a few examples.
So what do you think about this?
In your example, you mix metal and techno, right?
Always,
and that's incredible because metal is a genre that mix very well with techno because it's very energetic.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The people of metal and techno like a lot of dancing, making a polo. Yeah,
we look the same.
It's
not a far
the
cry.
energy. Yeah.
What's your favorite band of metal?
Oh, my favorite metal band. I can tell you they're probably the originators of certain metal types, which would be Led Zeppelin. I think they're the earliest form of metal, along with Black Sabbath, King Crimson, Deep Purple. I like all those really old original guys, but in the modern era, big metal heads that I look up to is Slipknot. Thank you, Corey Taylor, as well, for letting us remix your tune. We really appreciate it, and it's an absolute honor. And Duality will be out very soon from Paolo Ferrara and I on Hex Records. So
that thing of the Max, when I have an insecurity of myself because I'm an artist too.
Of course.
see Slipknot, Kurt Taylor with the mask, and some other DJs doing that, and trust me that I need to offer a good show, not only with the mask, with your music. And if you don't have an identity as a music, your original sound, how do you reach your original sound?
Oh, great question. That's one of my favorite questions that any producer can ask. How do you find your original sound? It's trial and error, obviously, but you've just got to remember what you loved about music that got you to the point of where you were like, I want to be a music producer.
Yeah.
And whatever that was, whatever that moment was, whether you were at a rave listening to a certain artist, or whether you were listening to something on Spotify, or whether one of your best friends or your family members like, you need to listen to this band, I think you'll love them. You got to remember that moment and go, they are my favorite for whatever reason. And you've got to remember that reason, remember that feeling, because when you were creating a track, to make a good track, it's all about feeling. It doesn't matter about the arrangement or this or that. To make a solid idea cohese together, you have to have that feeling embedded in you the whole time. Otherwise, you start going on random tangents of composition because you're trying to take too many influences from too many places. You're like, I want to do everything at once, and I want to do a slow part, a fast part, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you've got to figure out what's that soulful sound that makes you just so happy every time you hear it. And if you can do that and then splice it with something like techno, for example, I love the drop in Master of Puppets by Metallica. When I hear that, when that hits, like
the energy
well, yeah,
of the electric
just
guitar.
And all it is a guitar. The rest of the band shut up for that section, and then you just hear the cascading huge floor toms from Lars Ulrich, and you're like, holy shit, what is this fucking sound? And it's still powerful even to this day, even though it was written 30 years ago. And that's just testament to how good it is. So it's all about creating a certain feeling for your audience and then capturing that feeling across your whole track. And that is what is your guiding light, because once you start going through those production corridors where you're like, oh, I'll test this, or I don't have a good idea for melody, or I'll use another source for my hats, or I like what that other guy did last week, I'll try and do that again. It starts to come apart and it's not you anymore. And when you just go, I have this feeling and I want the crowd to feel like I feel. And if you can have that feeling the whole time you're producing a record, or even in a DJ set when you're curating a playlist to play for people on the spot, you transcribe what is truly you. And what is truly you is so vitally important because it's what makes you unique. I know you can wear fucking crazy boots and put crazy makeup on and stuff like that, but if you have a created signature sound because you always go back to a certain energy, a certain feeling, a certain reaction from the crowd that you're looking for, that's what makes you unique.
Yeah, because one of the most important things that I consider on this kind of genre, talking about Metallica, talking about the riffs of the guitar, you know, you can mix, boost the bass up, you can create the bass up. Yeah, you can, this is a genre called dark trap. Yeah, like
cool.
It's like, you know, sample, a guitar sample that gives you that power, and you mix it and you put your own sounds, you put your own 808, and then that's what people like, because one of the biggest, or I don't know if I say biggest, but one of the biggest problems of the independent artists here in Ecuador is not to have the clear idea to we are playing just for us. And that's not the right thing. We are playing for our public. Yeah. We want to give the public the feeling that I produced that, I mix that song, not for me, for the public. Yeah.
Sure.
You know, write a song and give that energy, give that mixing to the public. Yeah. So it's very, very, very interesting.
The thing about creating music is to make feel something to the people. Yeah,
I agree.
If you can make feel the feeling you have to express, you are doing good music.
That's right, exactly. If you can convey a certain emotion, a certain feeling to your public in a song in a few minutes, you're doing really well. And even more so, if you can move them to the point where they love that song or they love that feeling, or it's a new feeling for them that they didn't know that they love, but now they do, you have done your job as an artist. That's incredible. And but at the same token, you should always make music that you like. And that's the difference, right? You say, yeah, we need to create music for our public, which is absolutely true, because they're the people, they're your local public. But you never know. If you just create music for yourself that you love, maybe your local public don't like it so much because the trend of where they're following hasn't caught up to how advanced your music is. But somewhere across the world, you will gain an incredible following. I'll give you an example that we just talked about before.
Yeah.
My good friend Junkie Kid, who's based in Mexico City.
Okay.
His biggest gigs in the world are in Asia and America. He actually doesn't tour Latin America, and he's a native Spanish speaker. It'll be his first tour to Latin America this week. And he's had a 15-year-long career so far. And his very first Latin American tour is coming this week. And he's super popular. He's got as big a following as I do for a longer time, and a bigger following in the United States than most of us in the techno scene. And because he created, he's got a different following. People loved his music in a completely different part of the world. And so he did it for, as much as I know about why he did it, he created music that he likes. And that a certain part of the world got onto that, which is the United States, and then they put a lot of focus on him. So he became very popular there.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's like you can create anything. And talking about how do you compare you have played in any places in any countries and a lot of countries. What do you compare the raves in other countries compared with here in Quito?
Cool.
How do you feel that experience? Can you tell us how do you compare that?
I certainly can, and in one very simple word, actually, flattered. I was very flattered when I first walked into that rave in Quito. Thank you so much to all of your whole
How do you
crews.
feel the energy of the people?
It was incredible. When I walked through, obviously it was really incredibly packed. I couldn't go through the crowd myself. The security guards had to come and get me, as usually is protocol, and walk me through the crowd. And as I was walking through the crowd, you don't realize how much of a global impact your music has sometimes. And as I was walking through the crowd, people started cheering. They noticed the crown, they saw my makeup, they knew who I was, they knew why I was there, and they all started exploding on the dance floor and grabbing my arms, grabbing my hands and high-fiving me and hugging me and trying to, make it a really beautiful concomitant experience from my entrance to the club. And I hadn't even started playing then. I was literally just walking through the rave, and it was a very, very beautiful and highly humbling
and I think
experience.
That experience only gives you, or I don't know if it only gives you that experience to play on underground clubs. So what do you prefer, like a small like clubs or a big festival?
Wow, I like both actually. It's good to have that contrast in your schedule and your life, because festivals are really cool for a lot of reasons. A couple of reasons, because you get to meet other awesome artists that are on your level or even beyond your level, and you get to learn from them or chat with them or just become friends with them and understand where they come from. And the other reason is because you play to tens of thousands of people, not 1,000 people, tens of thousands of people. So that's really cool. I've got a really big one coming up very soon on the 30th of November.
What is it going to be?
30th of November, I'm playing Exhale Tour with Amelie Lenz.
Oh,
so
with Amelie Lenz?
I'm closing for Amelie Lenz
man,
for 10,000 people. So that will be...
How many?
10,000 people.
10,000 people, man.
So that'll be unreal. I really look forward to that. So they're huge, big arenas.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for here with the college, with the crew here in Ecuador, with Pulse Point, with Exodus. We're trying to grow up this experience because we want to reach that.
Yeah.
We want to
You will.
Yeah.
But keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Techno's new here, and techno's new in many parts of Latin America, but it's emerging so quickly, which is so beautiful. Within 1 year, 2 years, there's all these clubs. When I was in Bogota and Cali and Peru, they have an emergent scene, but Bogota's even very strong right now. I would call Bogota a very strong capital of techno within the world, not just Latin America. Mexico obviously has an amazing population to have techno, but they're actually a very small scene there. So you can never judge it by the size of the population.
Yes.
It's about the good work that promoters like yourselves do at Exodus and Pulse Point that build a scene over time, 1 or 2 years, and then all of a sudden, all the attention is drawn into that.
Yeah. Quality before quantity.
Of course, exactly. Get the small raves right first. If they're packed out, if everyone's having fun, then move to higher heights. Don't stretch yourself too thin. Because I'm very lucky, I'm also a promoter as well. My business partner and great friends from my crew at Black Noir in Australia. Shout out to all of my family at Black Noir. Here I am again in Ecuador this time. And I miss my family at Black Noir at home because it's a brand that my close friend Steve started, and then I got on board with in very early beginnings, and we became this kind of duo of techno that really pushed the scene. And then Steve's girlfriend, also Joy, has been very instrumental. So it's been the three of us at our core, and now we've expanded our horizons. We run parties all across the east coast of Australia, and we're going to go international soon as well. But we have the most successful techno brand in Australia because of that. But we started small.
Yeah.
Really small. We didn't go crazy at the start. Our club, our original club, only holds like a couple of hundred people, right? And we just made sure that works every week. Every week we put on a party, and now we do it 2 times a week. And now we've got another location in Melbourne and another location in Brisbane. And so it's really, really, it expands organically.
Yeah. And that's the thing when you create a community.
Yeah.
When you make a community,
right,
you have people that support you every time. If you are experimenting with doing some kind of rave with other genre of music, they support you. And if you want to make another rave in another venue that is more underground, they support you too. Yeah. And that's the thing of the community of the rave. They are they have a lot of support for the collectives.
Right, exactly.
Porque no vamos a dejar mentir, hace como 2 años no había escena, o sea, como tal como la tenemos ahora. Like 2 years, 3 years ago, we have nothing of this culture of techno because we were so on the radar. So
of course, super underground.
Yeah,
that's how you have to start. Yeah, right.
People always think that only we go to the raves to
get drugs and get fucked up
and stuff, and it's
but sometimes, right? We all like that. We've all been there.
But it's not the only thing, you know.
No,
it's not the only thing. That's what we're trying to do, to connect with people, to realize the people to that we can explore, we can enjoy, we can do a lot of stuff. We go to the hand. You have to. Yeah.
They go hand in hand, though. We wouldn't have one without the other. But saying that, it's, as you guys are articulating, it's all about creating a culture that wasn't there before. You're shaping people's minds, you're shaping people's belief systems, you're shaping people what people love to do, what they love to spend their money on, and what they love to feel as a community around them. people they can connect with, friendships that last forever, and careers that last forever. And it's a really, really powerful thing because you're creating something out of nothing.
Yeah, it's like the rave is experience.
Exactly.
It's like a friendship experience, like a exciting experience. And one short story. Yesterday, I almost lost a lens of my camera, and I was very worried because I was a little behind, and I was like, oh fuck, I was the camera, and I was all the stuff on me, but the beautiful thing is that all the people was worried, like, bro, are you okay? Trying to find and
exactly
things that you don't see on other parties here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like we were talking before, like Paris or please don't
hate us for this. We love it too.
We are enjoying that, but yes, it's the culture that you have to have the empathize with the people.
Yeah, correct.
And we have the advantage that we can learn from other countries.
Yeah.
Because like in Colombia, that is our most near country.
Yeah.
They have that culture of techno.
They do.
And we are trying to make that here too. This year has had a lot of impact in techno.
Yeah.
We are going to have a festival near these dates.
Wow.
That's incredible because it's going to be the first festival in Ecuador. And it's pretty good because the DJs are starting to come here, more international DJs, more collectives are interested in coming here.
Yep.
And it's great, to be honest, because in that way, techno and the rave culture grows in your country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you put a very good point across without maybe even knowing it, but the fact that another brand is putting on a festival, and the fact that you guys are all in support of that is a fantastic thing, because one of the things that kills countercultures like rave music, like techno scenes, like underground, is when people, promoters, collectives start infighting. And they're all worried about, like, I want the biggest crowd and I want to monopolize it, and I just want to do things for financial gain, which is exactly the wrong reason to do things. It's to make and give an experience to people that lasts for a long time, that people can return to and feel safe and feel a community around. It's not really about the money, and it shouldn't necessarily ever be about the money. But I understand that promoters need to make money. I haven't promoted too, I get it.
We live from that.
Yeah. This is our job sometimes, you know, so I get it too. But it's very important. But another thing that makes and breaks cities and cultures is having really popular emergent artists. So Colombia is doing so incredibly well because they have some incredibly emergent artists that are going to the world stage. Shout out to Common Poetry. You guys are amazing. I met you for the first time in Colombia and we hit it off. They're very, very cool people, and we'll do some collaborations.
And we're going to have them here and at the end of this month.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
they're coming.
You will love them. Thank you guys. You're beautiful people, and I can't wait for your tours and careers to coincide with mine again. I really appreciate it. But they are doing incredible things for Colombia. They've been emergent. They're going over to Europe as well, like myself. And so they come from what is considered to be a small culture in techno, which is South American techno scene. I come from a small techno culture originally as well in Sydney, Australia, and we are now growing those scenes because we're lucky enough to break through to the other level and go touring around the world. So it's very powerful, and it can change an entire culture. You can see an entire culture just come up underneath you and support you, and it's a very flattering and humbling thing to happen.
The thing you touch about the collectives and the competition.
Stay nice to each other.
Yeah.
Always. Stay nice to each other. Work with each other. You're never going to poach each other's scene. You're just going to grow it.
That's a good thing about Keto collectives. We are a lot supportive between each other, to be honest. We feel like the receivement they have with Exodus, with Pulse Point, it's pretty wonderful because they want to help. They want us to get more
audience,
audience,
more
yeah.
actions, get more sounds, get more people that interest of this culture, because this very new, like this project, this Saunazo project, this Pulse Point project, it's very born recently.
Growing up.
It's growing up. So it's like,
and it helps a lot to the talent of Ecuador, because we have emergent talents. We have a lot of new DJs that are experimenting. All of our residents.
No,
here
I mean
in
like him.
Exodus.
Like him.
We have people that is trying to start their career, and they can, because our collectives give the opportunity to present them.
Yes.
And that's wonderful.
That's so important.
Here we don't have an industry. We don't have labels. We don't have nothing here. But we don't have it.
But you will.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We create the industry. We can do it. Like, this podcast is for that, for independent artists.
That's right.
Yeah, because like he said, we have very talented artists here, very good DJs, and that's why I start the podcast, because I feel that people needs to be listened, needs to be recognized in music, and that's why we want to give you that exposition to the people. So it's very cool. What was your first rave?
Oh, wow. Cool question. All right, now we're going to show my age, buddy. So my first rave...
I want to know.
My first rave was in the year 2000.
Oh my...
Actually, it was in the year 19... No, that's not even true.
It was in the year
1998. It wasn't even 2000. 2000's when I first started DJing. Apologies. 1998.
1998.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Called Crush.
What was that?
And it was at Seagull, and it was for really young ravers, and they had some really cool high energy trance guys that came out to do it, and we all got wasted. And MDMA was really good in those days. I think it still probably is, to be honest. I think I've just burnt I fried my cells too much. It doesn't work the same. But it's, when you are, 12 or 13 years old, which I was, now there you know my age now.
How old was back then when you go to the...
12 years old.
12 years old?
Yeah, 12 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And 1998, there you go, guys.
Oh my God.
12 years old, and it was just a different culture then, but it was just as cool. And it hasn't left. The beautiful part of it is, I can say, over these millions of years it seems I've been raving, that the essence of rave is just the same.
It's just the
It's
same.
exactly the same as it ever was.
It hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed. People like high energy rhythms that make them feel tribal and connected with one another for this beautiful ethereal magic that no one can explain. And then lights, cameras, action, sweaty people, drugs, crazy heavy drops, dark rooms, strobes, people talking shit to each other in smoking rooms, chain smoking, sucking lollipops, whatever you need to do to get through the night, after parties, pre-parties, post-parties, drinking on the train, drinking on buses, being a pain in the ass to taxi drivers. It all is the same from now until then. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Where's the after?
Yeah, that's right. And it hasn't changed.
And there's the after.
Exactly. And then how long can you keep it going until you're the last one face down on the floor? And that's a beautiful essence that'll never change. Everyone wants to let their demons out. Everyone wants to get crazy sometimes. And the beautiful thing about rave culture is it's super inclusive. It's actually probably more inclusive now than it ever has been, which is beautiful because it encompasses every race, every sexuality, there's a rave version of nearly every genre now. You can go to a dubstep rave, or you can go to a trap rave, or you can go to a drum and bass rave. You can go to a high energy, hard techno industrial rave. You can go to hardcore gabba, and people are going to have unified ideas and themes and drugs and interests and spiritualities, and they just get along with each other, and it's fine and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the kind of unity that we want to explore right now, because it's problem. Do you ever have a bad experience or a bad habit on the raves? What do you consider is a bad habit, you know?
Yeah. So bad experience. All right, a bad habit about raves is getting too stuck into your drugs too early, before any of the fun has started. Like, you know, everyone has that friend that is a fucking casualty at the rave, and you're like, bro, I told you this time, go easy. I'm not getting kicked out again because of you. And what do? They get fucking wasted before they even enter. They're like totally trolleyed, and you're like, just make it through the doors. Just make it through the fucking doors. Just make it through the doors, and they don't. They're like, man, I have to go home. I'm like, I'm not. Not again. I'm out. Yeah. So I would say to those people, you know who you are, just fucking be gentle on your friends. You're usually going with like 10 or 15 of your mates, and they all have to take care of you. Don't be that dickhead that just takes all your drugs before you start the party. Try and pace yourself. Be moderate.
Drink water, hydrate yourself.
Yeah, enjoy the fucking music.
Yeah.
Like that's actually the magic in raves, right? Good. But raves are raves because of the music.
Yeah.
You can just take drugs at home, have a great time, but you don't feel that epic experience like, fuck, I was with all my friends, we all listened to that same track, that DJ played exactly what we wanted him to, and I can't believe it, or her. And they were like, I can't believe we heard that song together. That is the feeling you want to get from raving.
That's
and the thing is that you have to have self-care too,
because
you have to be responsible of yourself, because if you are not responsible of yourself, you are taking that responsibility to another person.
Yes, correct.
That is trying to have fun.
Exactly. You're taking away from your friends by that. You're the detractor.
So that's a part of the empathy. You have to think that other people that want to have fun, so let them have fun, taking care of yourself.
Exactly right. Yeah, take care of yourself first. It's a good motto for life, to be honest.
I've lost a lot of things, you know, because of that. My ID.
And it happens to everyone.
Everyone's done it once. Everyone's been that person.
That's the thing that makes you want to change.
Yeah, exactly. Recognize that behavioral pattern, you'll be good. My bad habit at raves is like just getting lost with someone else. I don't want to put too much of a point on this, and I don't do it anymore because I'm older and I have responsibilities in different relationships in my life. But when I was younger, my issue was I would get really separated from my friends. They'd all be worried about where I was because I was talking with some girl or something like that. You know, like, and I wouldn't tell them where I was, and I'd just be like trying to flirt so badly, and
you like to flirt the girls. It's because the girls go crazy, you know.
It's not your fault.
Well, this happened before I was a techno entity. But that's when I was just a raver. That was my bad rave habit, right? But I think I've reformed since then.
That's like a kind of rockstar life, man.
Oh no, not anymore. Not anymore. Well,
but you think you are living your dream?
Absolutely.
You're living your dream. How was your best thing that you like to do job?
Wow, what's the best part about this job? Well, yes, answer your question quickly. Yes, I'm absolutely living my dream. I did this late in my life. I've had 2 careers before here, in the music production space, in the music teaching space as well, which were both successful, but they weren't as successful as what I'm doing now. When you get the chance to travel the world and someone else pays for it, It's a fucking good experience. Just anywhere, because the experience of meeting new people and cultures and collectives like yourselves and just understanding a new environment that's totally different to the one you grew up in is just such an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, because it's not you have an enormous or a big audience. I feel comfortable with 10K followers on Spotify, and they pay me, like you say, because I'm doing my job, because I need to produce better, to better equipment, to quality of the videos, and that's why I'm doing this, because I need to get money.
I get it. You got to weigh the balances, right? Like, as I said,
and also because I like it. Sorry.
Of course, exactly. Well, this is the point I'm going to talk about. As I said, I was talking with someone off camera before about what is the real motto about doing a career, and it is if you love your career so much you would do it for free, you are doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing. You don't have to think of the famous. You don't have to do it for the money.
No.
If you do it because you love, because I don't have a plan B.
Yeah.
Always my parents told me, have a plan B, don't dedicate to the music, that is not giving you any money and all the shit that, but I was, fuck that, I'm doing look at me, look at now, I'm
doing what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm doing what I need to do, so it's a pretty cool experience.
Happy.
And I'm happy doing that.
And you're happy.
And
Very important. For me, the same. But I left it even longer in my career because my plan B was studying sciences and working in a completely different sector. And even though it was a very successful career path, for some people would call that a successful career path, I didn't. And it didn't bring me the love and joy that I have now. And I found that out a little bit later in life. And it took me a lot of insane sacrifices to do what I do now.
Do you have any moment that you say maybe it's not going well?
Well, let's do one for the people, huh?
For the
Date, Quito. It's Kenya time.
It's Kenya time. Yeah, that's very good.
Salud.
Salud, boys, salud. Holy hell, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Come to Ecuador just for the caña and the raves. It's worth it.
Caña manavita. Negros.
See. That's delicious, guys.
Delicious.
Really, I'm very surprised. Rarely can you drink a white spirit directly out of the bottle and feel completely smoothed by it. So well done. Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course.
You're making it a lot harder than it was for me.
Man. Nah, that's for the nerves now.
No, have you ever had a point of your career when you feel like I'm going to drop the towel?
Yeah.
Do you have any moment that...
God, I love that expression, by the way. Drop the towel. Because I've been accused of dropping the towel a lot in my life, but it has nothing to do with my career. It's just getting naked inappropriately. But dropping the towel, as you say, I like that. Yeah, I mean, like, throw in the towel is how we actually say in English, if you want to change that expression so you don't get it in trouble again. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. So throw in the towel. Absolutely. I mean, when I'm doing a lot of production work for other people in my career before I had a really big solo career. And I had another solo career beforehand in a totally different genre. I was playing trance music and progressive. And we didn't have a good scene in Australia. And the scene died, and it died, and it died, and it became smaller and smaller. And trance music got shitter and shitter and more kind of EDM. Like, it got away from what its trance roots were and just went really commercial, and I didn't like it. And at that space, I took years off. I didn't get into DJing or music production for years. I was really disillusioned, and then it took me a really pivotal moment in my life when I got very, very sick, and I was in hospital. I was actually in a wheelchair, and I had to learn how to walk again, go through physical rehabilitation, and then from a very strange unknown disorder that's attached to my brainstem. So it really changed my whole perspective on life. And when I came back, I realized that all the bullshit that I was doing, like watching television and just wasting my time, was completely pointless, and I need to go back to exactly what I love, which was music.
You have a block mind. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to improve my sound. Because I have I started producing since 2019.
Yep.
I have like more than 5 years producing, and
Very
was pretty hard because at the beginning, doing electropop music, doing trap music, doing reggaeton music, and none of that. I don't have any audience.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, "Fuck, why?"
It's hard.
I'm putting all my effort. I'm putting all my love and my passion. But the people
there's no one around to listen to it, right? Yeah.
So right now I'm exploring hard techno, going to raves, going to new experience, and found my own sound. Found my own sound. Yeah. You did. And right now I'm doing hyperpop. I fusion the genre hyperpop with punk, with hard techno, with trap.
It's beautiful.
And I don't follow the typical A/B versus chorus. No, I just
good
do
for you,
music
man. Just do something innovative that's so you, and it will eventually catch on. If you're good enough at it, it will catch on. Like I started doing a style of production called neo rave, which at the time was barely known. It was only known, and I didn't even know it was called neo rave. I was producing music that I didn't even know there was a genre for. I was just producing music for myself and my friends, and what my friends or my collaborators like to do, and I would infuse that with my own stuff. So I'd have like 4 different kick drops and side bass, reverse bass, raw bass, and a techno rumble, all in the same song. And I still do that now.
Try that.
Yeah, and I still do that. And at the time, no one was doing that. No one in my whole scene was doing that. They were just following the same stereotypes of peak time techno, same formula. And I was like, oh fuck, someone needs to do something different around here because I got to listen to some different music. And I did, and all of a sudden I became successful in this new project. So I'm very, very happy about the direction I took because I just went, no, fuck it, I'm doing it for myself. This is what I want to do. I want people to listen to this. I think they're going to love it. And all of a sudden there was a scene for it.
And we are loving it. We're loving that. The music. We're loving that.
We're having some off-camera issues, if you can't tell right now by our sideward glances.
No, there's some guy.
4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Hi guys, how are you? It's nice to join you in the studio again. Shall we conduct part 3 of our interview?
No, fuck that. Do you want to try some candies?
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I love to do the local thing. Yeah. I've had some beautiful food here with some beautiful people.
Have you tried Ecuadorian food?
Yeah, very much so. I had tigrillo this morning.
What?
Tigrillo?
Tigrillo.
Tigrillo.
Oh. Excuse my pronunciation.
No.
Tigrillo this morning.
Little tiger.
Tigrillo. And it was delicious. Tigrillo and balones. Balones. Balones have the cojones. I like it. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, it's very beautiful. Yeah.
That's the thing of our food from Ecuador. We have a lot of variety.
Yeah, it's really good.
And the thing that I think you like most is the food that have plantain.
Yes, you're right. I'm addicted to plantain or plátano, as you say, and it's fucking delicious. And we don't have that a lot in my cultures that I live in. I mean, I live overseas as well. I don't just live in Sydney, Australia anymore. I actually live in Budapest in Hungary, and so I got a lot of European cultural influence and stuff like that as well. But we just don't have the quality of foods in our countries that you guys do in Latin America. You really care about making your own cultural dishes. You really care about exploring big flavors and incredible helpings and mixing different things together to all make one incredible experience. And I really, really appreciate that.
Like the movie Ratatouille.
Yeah, Ratatouille, man. Right, exactly.
That's the thing. We have a lot of fruits, vegetables, recipes with a lot of food that we can combine.
It's
Correct.
because
it's unique to you.
Because the most of the gastronomy of here in Ecuador is handmade, like the bolognese, the tortillas. Is like
it all comes from
the old ladies that do that is do it with love.
Yeah, it comes from home cooking and street food. Yeah.
And we have that culture here in the Politos. So
my favorite.
We have here.
Let's do it. Let's do some culturally.
We have here some candies that the Lestrange has never tried before.
What first? What first?
What first? What do you want? What do you can? We have here avena, the typical avena that we have in the college.
Okay.
We have the chocolate galac. And typical galletas, amor. So what do you want to try first?
Let's start with amor.
With amor. Okay. Oh, with the love. All we need is love.
All right. So this is to my amor. You know who you are.
Okay.
So I will start with love. Okay.
Okay. We'll start with love.
Okay. Cool. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Alright, wow.
We're going to love that.
Totalmente vivo, totalmente en directo.
Okay, and am I giving this a rating?
Yeah.
Alright, guys, I want you to eat one with me. Here you go. Yeah. We're all eating it together.
Let's do it together.
Just like we rave together,
cheers.
We eat together. Cheers. Okay.
Cheers, amor.
Amor.
Maybe we'll love.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
First impressions.
Really light, really delightful, not overly sweet. I really like it. It's super clean wafer.
From 1 to 5.
The cream.
1 to 5, that's a weird scale. Can we do 1 to 10? I'm more of a metric kind of guy.
1 to 10.
It's a solid 7, which is a very high mark for me.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Wow.
It's good.
I don't even like it. No.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, next. Galac. The typical Galac next one.
Okay.
Let's do that. This is chocolate, white chocolate.
Okay.
That in fact is not chocolate.
Yeah, because you can't have chocolate if it's completely white, right?
Yeah.
But this is a fact that the white chocolate is
not chocolate.
No, it's not. There's no cacao.
Yeah, because
no cocoa. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here it is.
All right. So beautiful. Send it over. I can eat it all.
Yeah. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is gonna disappoint you, but we have this in our country, but it's not called Galac. It's called Milky Bar. But it is a little bit different to what I'm seeing here. So our Milky Bar there's no aeration. I'm not sure, you won't be able to see this, but there's little bubbles in this to make it lighter chocolate.
Yeah.
We don't have that in ours. Ours is solid white chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, I have this for you.
Right.
I forgot.
You can have it. No.
This is better than the Australian version.
Yeah.
By a long way. A long way. This is delightful. I could eat this any day. Hello, gorgeous girl.
Oh.
Chloe. Chloe would like some. Chloe, would you like some chocolate? Have some, gorgeous.
She don't want it.
No, it's the pet of the
She's good for our ratings.
Yes,
From
very
1 to
curious
10?
cat.
1 to 10?
1 to 10?
Because of how much better it is than the Australian version, I would say 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so sorry I didn't hear.
It's okay, that was a welcome distraction. I would say a 9.
9.
Because it's so much better than the Australian version. And I already like the Australian version.
No, it's not for
So
you.
sorry Milky Bars.
Sorry. Galac.
You're done.
This time.
Galac all the way.
Yeah.
Every day.
Time.
Galac every day.
And the avena. This
Okay.
is okay.
How am I going to eat this?
Okay.
It's liquid.
Should I just pour it down my crown?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So I actually have to drink this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why Chloe's around. I see. Sorry, Chloe, you can have the remains. All right. Just down the hatch, I suppose.
He has to taste it. He has to taste it.
I adore that. I am so impressed. I have no idea what to expect out of that. but it is so nice. It's like cinnamon, rice porridge without the rice. It's just like the milk effect.
Yeah, it's like the milk, but it's just not like soft of the milk.
No, yeah, it's like a slightly more dense milk, kind of like a yogurt without any tartness in the yogurt. It's like, but super cinnamon spice. I love it.
Yeah,
that's perfect. One more, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it. Damn,
all right.
So there we have a
10
out of 10.
That's an absolute 10.
Oh my god, thank.
That's an absolute 10. We don't have anything like that in either of the cultures I live in right now.
Wow.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's a keeper for me. If I could get that imported, I would.
Okay.
Wow, that's incredible.
Okay, that was the part of the candy. So, Lily, going to the interview again. Do you prefer analogic?
Yeah.
Man, I have a bad
Oh,
card.
you bad back. Oh, no.
You know what? I'm going to stand. No. I'm going to, yeah. Do you prefer analogic or digital?
Digital all the way.
Digital.
No use for analog anymore. I've got lots of analog synths. I actually just sold one. It was a beautiful, beautiful synth. And I just don't need it anymore. I just don't need it. I had Korgs, I had Moogs, I had Dave Smiths, I had all sorts of stuff. I had a Virus TI, and I sold some of them already just because I just don't need it anymore. Everything can be done better in the box. The only reason you would have analog equipment anymore, in my eyes, is because you love the feel of it. And it gives you inspiration to play around with. But logistically, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Really, because you can't use it on tour unless you truck it around with you all the time. You have to rely on it, the plug-in versions of it anyway when you're touring on your laptop, so you get used to them. Why do you even bother having the real thing?
Because right now we have an analogic presets, BSTs that emulate perfectly or synthesizer. But I really love analogic live sets. You know, like Fred Again.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I saw you, last time that I saw him.
Yeah.
In Bogota, man, that was crazy. The energy, the concentration of him playing all these songs on live, and the people is crazy. Like
it is
the concentration and gives you the emotion of manipulating the sound. And I prefer maybe the mix, and because digital also gives you this kind of facility of doing mixing other songs, mixing other sounds, but the analogic equipment gives you that the feeling, the whole feeling, the 80s, the 70s. True. Combine that ages is pretty cool, you know.
Exactly. For what I do, it would take away from me because I don't play live. If I played live, I wouldn't be able to react and interact with the crowd the way I want to. And so that's why I'm moving away from it. Because if I'm stuck there behind, let's say I've got a live operation set up, I've got like an 808 going, I've got a Chaos pad, I've got one of my synths on stage, as well as DJing, which is very easy to do. I have to spend all my time triggering things from them rather than being with the crowd, giving them eye contact, being up on stage, being in the audience, doing crazy that I do. And for me, that would take away from my performance. But for someone like Fred again, who built his entire career off doing these incredibly complex compositions on stage while also not really interacting with the audience too much,
obviously,
then that's his thing, right? That's what makes him unique. People love him because of his music, not because necessarily he's the best entertainer in the world, but because his music is so good, the entertainment is naturally there.
Yeah.
If I was ever as good a producer as him too, maybe I would consider doing live production.
So, tell me, Lestrange, how do you see? How was your experience here playing here in Ecuador?
just incredible. I would thoroughly recommend anyone to tour or play or rave or just vacation in Ecuador. This is a beautiful place with beautiful people. I was really pleasantly surprised about how tight and energetic and overly committed the rave culture is here, and I think it's just going to grow to bigger and better things. Shout out and a big thank you to Exodus and Pulse Point. You have made my stay incredibly beautiful and memorable, and I would suggest anyone, if you get a chance to check their party, if you are living here in Ecuador or one of the neighboring countries, you have to get yourself to one of their parties at Pulse Point and Exodus.
Awesome.
It will be amazing, and I know you guys have some great stuff in store with other bigger artists. We talked about Common Poetry as well. My friends that are coming up from Colombia, you have to be there for that one.
Yeah,
Our frequency.
Un agradecimiento igual a Éxtasis Chile. Thanks Éxtasis Chile for bringing that, for made all this stuff. A big shout out for us. And yeah, that's it, man. Have a good time and have a pleasure. We have a good experience.
Thank you, brother.
Here.
Thank you. It's nice to meet another king for once.
Yeah,
I feel like we're talking on the same level. Likewise, man.
Have you
Flanked by the Sams.
Have you
Yeah.
had a good
Sams,
experience here in Saunazo? We had a good
Yeah.
pleasure having you here, and yeah, just to finish, give a little advice to independent artists or DJs. What do you say to them?
Keep grinding. That's all you got to do. Just outwork the people around you. It's quite simple if you want to be successful. You just got to do what other people are not willing to do. You've just got to compromise things that other people are not willing to compromise. Like, for example, a lot of people will just get bored of production, or after they come home from a rave, they won't produce music, or they won't DJ and get their skills up. They'll just go to bed, or they won't, keep that mental flow going, and it's a very sad thing. They'll distract themselves with television or social media, and that's not the case at all. If you are going to use social media, and you should, it's a powerful engine. You should dedicate time to that too. And you have to dedicate time to all these things and sacrifice others, like spending time with your family, spending time with your friends. You've got to be really good at saying no to things. And if you get good at that, if you get good at compromising, you keep grinding, success will find you. You will not find success. It will be very simple.
Get out of your home, do your stuff, love your music, and yeah, that's it, man. And yeah, people.
We want to give you a big shout out to you too, because you have been a pretty good person. You have been the best DJ I have met. You are sociable.
Thank you.
You are kind. You are empathic, and that's nothing that you can find in a lot of DJs, to be honest.
Sure.
And to be that empathic with the people, with your fans, with the people you have around you, it's pretty that you have to be proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a very humbling statement to both of you guys. I really appreciate it.
Gracias, amigos. Esto fue Lestrange.
Gracias.
This was Lestrange. See you next time on the Saunazo episodio. Gracias, amigos sauneros. Ya saben.
Extraño. Stay strange.